Hey there, Christopher Thunder here from the world's dirtiest workshop. So I'm here with my car stereo harness, and I'm at the point now where I'm going to take these two pieces and connect them to that one. Now, for most modern car stereos, custom car stereos, the wire colors are going to match up to a certain degree. But what you should do or think about is removing the speaker wires from the bundle and just work with the power wires or the control wires and do that first. And then maybe separate out your main ground and your constant power and things like that, so that you can do those first. And they're going to be on one side of the plug, so you can see how they are bundled together. And then this is the ground. Now, the ground is in a weird position on the plug. So you can see where the ground is relative to the others. Black is being ground. But what I want to probably do is try to get them first. Now, you go, well, you could zip tie them together. You could, do all kinds of things. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take some painter's tape here. Just a little bit of it, because it's easy to work with. Just stick the extra there. And I'm going to make these my control wires. I'm just going to bundle them like that, so I can separate them pretty quickly. And you don't want to really put a lot of effort into this, and you might want to give yourself a little bit of a tab to pull with. So I'm just going to fold that like that. So easy enough to separate when I need to, but for now, bundled together. Now, I'm going to come back here and I'm going to take a look at this, and I'm going to compare it. So I got orange and red, okay, and yellow. They're in a different place on this harness. This is going into the ATOTO system. Really, really kind of different, okay? And then you have your speaker wires over here on this side. Now, these are all connected by this wire tie here, and I'm wondering if I should pop that. I'm thinking keep it together for now, because it'll keep you from jiggling individual wires loose. But I will find, that's the accessory power, so that's when the key is on. Here's the dimmer, and here's the constant battery, okay? So I've pulled them aside, and I'm going to try to unweave them from the bundle here. See if I can push this through so that it's all kind of on the same side. Okay. And maybe the black one. Do I have a common here? I probably do. Chassis ground. Okay. So I'm going to pull them aside, and I'm going to take a little piece of tape and bundle them. So what's this orange one here? That's a steering wheel signal, okay? Maybe we'll put that one out here too. What's this one? That's the rear camera. This is probably the rear camera jack. Audio control jack. Steering wheel audio control. Interesting. Okay, and these are all speakers. So what I'm probably going to do is just bundle these real quick over here and give myself a little tab to pull if I want to remove all them. Just fold that over like that. Okay. Now, I'm going to start with the black, the ground, okay, common ground. I'm going to pull the wire off here. Come on. Wow, that's a toughie. Take your time. Don't overdo it. I can see here that when I pulled on that, I got quite a bit of wire through there. That might even be too much. So I'm going to just pull that and look at it and go, yeah, that's way too much wire. That is way too much wire. So what am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to have to cut that off, okay? Now, just to keep things from getting too messy, I'm going to use a piece of tape here and just stick everything to that. Looks like there's a piece of wire there and another insulator. Great. Let's get another piece of tape going here. So I'm just using the sticky part of the tape to handle some of this. Now, I have my new wire cutters, and they seem to be okay. And I want to get this down to maybe like 1/3 of an inch or so. Yeah, that worked pretty good. And all those little bits went right down on that piece of tape. Now, what I want to do is I want to join these two halves of the harness together for the first time. Okay, so when I push that in all the way, that goes in far enough that I've got insulation on both sides covering that. So now you can see that wire is just kind of sticking out there a little bit. There's just a little bit of bare wire there. Wow, okay. Not what I expected, really. I'll take this and give it just a little bit more, like maybe a millimeter or two more. All right. Now I'm going to try it again. All right, yeah, that feels good going in. And when the two wires are connected, I know that that's in all the way. Now, we're going to try this crimper here again. I can use this one in a bind, but this one is bigger, it's wider. So we're going to go with the narrower crimper, as simple as that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay it in there and kind of push the wire in while I'm doing it. Okay, so I'm going to make sure that that is all the way on the end. And then now that I've got that squeezed, I'm going to get my other hand on it and crush it. Okay, that is a really solid joint. Okay, so sometimes when you're working with this crimper, you can get it in position and then you can nail it. And I've got really strong hands, but there are times when I've got it just at the wrong click and I'm going to have to turn it over and whack it. Okay, fingers down, just like that. Okay, really kind of hard to do this fingers up, but fingers down. Ugh. Now, let's try just getting a pattern going. All right, so we're going to go with the red one. Okay. Ooh, look at how thin that is. My goodness. Wow. There's almost nothing to that. Is it because of the lack of wire? What's going on with this harness? My goodness, some of these are just so thin. Man, that is barely going to be enough power. Wow. No. Is it because some of the wires are broken or what? I'm thinking I should probably look at the insulation and see if some wire came off of that. I think some wire did. I honestly think that some wire came off with that. That looks like that's too thin. So this is why I have this tool here. This is my stripping tool, my professional stripping tool, for situations just like this. So a 14 is wrong. This is probably going to be a 16 or an 18 gauge wire. We're going to start with the 16 gauge and we're going to see if we can pull that off and see if we get a thicker bunch. Let me try and twist it. So we're going to have to remember that it's not the smallest. It's just really, really small. Wow, I'm not liking this harness that ATOTO provided with their stereo. Now, I'm going to get my cutters out and maybe just try and trim that off to the right height. Okay, that is looking much better. Now the problem with this being a little short now is its reach is going to be funny. And you're going to have to practice nailing this on the first try. So that wire is in, and I'm pretty sure that when it goes in, it's going to be tight. It's just really a thin wire for what it has to do. Doing it by feel, feeling the hole. The hole doesn't really want to go. There it goes. Okay. Now I'm going to bring the other wires up closer. Whoops, slipped it out. I'm going to put it back in. Don't miss, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. See what kind of process this takes? Wow, I'm just messing up the end of it. There it goes, in all the way. And that time I did it right. You mess this up now, and you're going to have all kinds of problems down the road when you try to put this car stereo in. Okay, so making sure that that's in the right position. Okay, opening up the jaws, coming back and hitting it one more time. Okay, wow, that really crimped that well. So that is solid, okay? Now, let's go with yellow. I think this one's going to be a lot thicker than, yeah, geez, that's 3 or 4 times thicker. And then I'm going to trim that off because that is excessive. Where's my sticky tape? There it is. Let's pick up some of the parts and some of the wire. And try and trim that back about 1/3 of an inch. Looks like I'm just going to have to cut it closer to the pin on the jaws. Okay, so now yellow. Doing it by feel. Didn't go. There it goes. There, that time it went in. So now I know how that wire feels. You practice it and then do it. Because they're different thicknesses. There we go. That's in all the way and pretty good. No extra wire showing. Get it into the jaws. Push it all the way in. Make sure the wire's all the way in and the butt connector is all the way in the jaws. And come back and do it again, just real quick. There we go. So now I've got 3 of them, right? So I've got a pattern going, but it's going to take a while. You can see the 3 of them there. And I do have a problem with these super thin wires. You know, that's going to be an issue. But I got to make sure that these connectors, no matter what, are always going to be solid, going together. You don't want a problem now putting them together, because when you get into this, you're going to have a nightmare on your hands. Get it right now. Learn how to feel it now. Learn what a good butt connection is by feel, whether it be a thick wire like this one or a thin wire like this one. See, it's thicker on this side than it is on that side, but I know that that is a proper connection. Thanks for watching me, Christopher Thunder, from the world's dirtiest workshop. Bye-bye.